In this episode of Bobby's Kitchen, we are making turkey gravy. Turkey gravy. Guys, this is the thing that really ties the room together. It can make a dry bird moist. It can make a moist bird the best you've ever had. It's velvety, it's rich, it's bringing tons of flavor to the party. It's that thing that just makes your potatoes sing, it makes your turkey sing. It's one of the best parts of Thanksgiving, and we are going to learn today how to make it with our homemade turkey broth, which makes it all the better, but you can also make this with a store-bought turkey broth. That is fine too. Just make sure if you do use store-bought, you get an unsalted version, because we are starting with our unsalted homemade broth, and we are going to add salt to taste. You know, I worked really hard on getting the calories down in this and still keeping it super velvety and luscious. And because of that, it's going to be a free food. I know you're probably, you don't believe that. Like, how could gravy be a free food? Well, you'll see when we get to the end, we'll talk containers. And I promise you, this does count as a free food. One of the ways that we did that is we are going to make my own invention. I call this a dry roux. When you make gravy, it's thickened with a combination of flour and fat that are cooked together. You cook the flour in the fat, which makes it be not lumpy when it thickens the sauce. I found out through experimentation that I can cook flour without fat and still get the same effect and the same flavor. And that takes all that fat out of the gravy, and you're not going to miss it. It's going to be just as delicious, but that's how we get it to be a free food. It's amazing. So our flour is going into a nonstick pan. I use a nonstick pan here. That's important. For some reason, when you toast flour, it gets kind of sticky. So make sure you use a nonstick pan. I'm using just a regular AP flour here because I'm not gluten-free, but if you're gluten-free, feel free to use a gluten-free flour. It works just as well. Takes a lot of heat to toast flour. So we're going to go high heat, shake it out, spread it around the pan, make sure it's evenly coating on the bottom. Spatula, important, silicone spatula. We are going to stir often at first and then continuously. And what I mean by that is while it's starting to come up to temperature, we're just going to stir every once in a while to keep everything even. As soon as you see it start to take on color, lower that heat to medium high, and stir continuously until we get the color we want, because we don't want to burn the flour anywhere. Burnt top flour tastes bad, brown flour tastes great. So we're just going to stir every so often, give it a shake, keep everything even. As soon as we see that color happening, we'll start to stir continuously. Now I will begin to see some wisps of smoke coming up off this flour. That's how I know we're getting close to starting to take on color. You might have to open a window for this. It will create a little bit of smoke in your kitchen, but it is totally worth it. I like to give mine a little toss, but you don't have to. You see, now we've got color. We're just starting to get a little bit of color, and I will keep this in motion. Keep stirring, break up any clumps that you see. Turn my heat down a little. We don't want it to brown too quickly. Brown can turn to black pretty quick if we're not careful. It's just going to take a few minutes. Once it starts taking on color, maybe only about 2 minutes, to turn the whole thing a nice yellow straw type color. That's what we're looking for. The color of straw. And if you're afraid to try to toss it, you can just keep stirring with your spatula. That's fine too. Almost there. I'm going to call that good. Killing the heat. Now we're going to get it right out of this hot pan and into a heat-proof porcelain bowl, because it will keep cooking if you leave it in the hot pan. And there we have our blonde, fat-free roux. Now that we have our beautiful fat-free roux done, set that aside for a moment. We've got our homemade turkey broth. Like I said, you can use store-bought if you want. Just make sure it's salt-free. About 3 cups worth. Now this turkey broth is cool. That's important. Whenever you're adding roux to a liquid, you want them to be the opposite of one another. So if you have a cool broth and a hot roux, because I just finished this roux, it's still hot and it will remain that way for a while. Hot roux, cool broth, or if you have a hot broth, you have to use a cool roux. If you've got hot and hot and you put them together, you're going to get a grainy gravy. You don't want that. So hot roux, cool stock. I'm going to put them in. You may be thinking, oh, if you whisk that, it's just going to turn into like a dough or a batter or something. But it's not. And that's what the heat does to the flour. It denatures the proteins in the flour so that they don't form a dough. They don't form a batter. All they do is form a creamy, thick sauce. That won't happen right away. It doesn't happen until we heat it. When it gets to the boiling point, that's when the starches are activated, and that's when we get a thick gravy. You want to make sure you whisk it thoroughly while it's cold, though. Any lumps that are in there, they're going to whisk out. Like I said, it can't form a dough. So you might see some clumps. Just keep whisking until everything's smooth, no more lumps, and then we will apply heat. You know, like medium-high heat. We're going to bring it up to a simmer. Whisk every once in a while it's coming up to the simmer so that the flour doesn't settle out. Once it begins to thicken, it can't settle out anymore. But at this point, we'll have to whisk every minute or so while it's coming up. Once it starts to bubble, you'll see it immediately thicken. You'll immediately get that gravy effect. And then we're going to add some seasonings. We're going to do a short simmer. Yep, I'm starting to feel it getting a little bit thicker. We should see some bubbling soon. This is when we want to keep it moving. Keep everything thickening nice and even. All right, now we have a gravy consistency. Look at that. Luscious, rich, beautiful. Lowering the heat now to low, just to keep it at a very low simmer. That's all we need. I'm going to add my seasoning. Got salt and pepper. And a couple sprigs of fresh thyme, which is optional, but it really does bring something to the gravy. Our gravy is done. I've killed the heat, discarded the thyme. One last ingredient, just a touch of apple cider vinegar. We stir that in off the heat so it doesn't cook out. And that little bit of pop of acid is just going to bring out all the other flavors beautifully. What say you, we get this on some turkey and give it a taste. Now that is looking delicious. Velvety, smooth, creamy gravy. You know, gravy falls into what in culinary school, when everything's in French, they call this a class of sauces called velouté, which means velvety. That's sauces that are thickened with a flour-based roux, and they are so velvety and so luscious. I love this kind of sauce. Let's give it a flavor. Let's give it a taste. Oh my goodness. Just the right amount of salt. That fresh thyme is coming through. All the roastiness of freshly roasted turkey bones. It's meaty, it's velvety, it's rich, and you guys, it's free. It's a free food. A quarter cup is a serving of this, and that is totally free. It does not come in at high enough in calories, in fat, in carbs, or any of that. we can have it totally free. But just so you know, 1 1/4 cup would be the equivalent of 1 yellow, which I'm calling 5 servings because I think a 1/4 cup is a good size serving, which means 1 1/4 cup is 5 servings, which means you could actually do a 1/4 cup on your turkey and a 1/4 cup on your mashed potatoes, and you're still in free food zone. You haven't come anywhere near that 5 serving 1 1/4 cup. So such a wonderful recipe, such a wonderful gravy, and it's healthy and it's Fix approved. It's really going to tie together your whole Thanksgiving table. There it is. That's a wrap for turkey gravy, guys. I hope you enjoyed our Thanksgiving series, and I hope these recipes could make your and your family's Thanksgiving just that much better. And if they do, please like and subscribe. We need subscribers to keep the channel going, to bring you many more recipes, because we got Christmas coming up, more holiday stuff, and new recipes every Sunday right here on Bobby's Kitchen.